So, in my paper, I focused on the life of a broiler chicken, starting from the egg to the slaughterhouse. All the problems that the chickens have is they are grown up too fast. The space the chicken houses, the space in the chicken houses, along with the cleanliness of the house, basically is what all the chickens go through when they're being prepared for slaughter. So, starting when they hatch, at the Hy-Line Hatchery, the male chicks are born the same day that they die. When they hatch, the chicks are put on a conveyor belt, which are sorted by gender. The males go into the grinder, and they're still alive, and they're grinded up alive into like dog food and feed for other animals like the cows and chickens and pigs. Females have their beaks burnt off with the laser, which is really painful. It can cause acute or chronic pain. It's just so they don't peck each other as they're growing up, basically, in confined spaces. They just go and just lay out their eggs. There's a video on YouTube I found of this. It's Mercy for Animals sent in a worker to be undercover and videotape what's been going on. In the chicken houses, the conditions are terrible, basically. The chickens are standing in their own waste. It's dirty and filthy, and it's not cleaned up until the chickens are gone. The chickens are grown up way too fast. Like, by the time they're a few weeks old, they're having a bunch of health problems, physical problems. They can't stand up. They're, like, crushing themselves under their own weight. Their organs they can't keep up with the growth. They get so big so quickly that, their organs can keep up with each other and they're crushing themselves. So, 40 years ago, though, the chickens took about 85 days to mature to be ready for slaughter. But now it only takes 45 days, which is like, comparing that to, say, a person, it would be like weighing 342 pounds by the time you were 2 years old, which is ridiculous. So the space for each chicken is tight too. Each chicken has about 130 square inches of space. So that's like two pieces of printer paper next to each other. Like, it's a little bit smaller than that, which is really tiny for a chicken. At the slaughterhouse, there's no real law or policy that makes the workers have to knock the chickens out before killing them, which is kind of weird, but they're dipped in electrified water to be knocked out, but some of them aren't because they lift their heads or they just aren't knocked out fully enough. So they're fully conscious when a machine or a worker cuts their throat, and if the machine or the worker doesn't cut both the arteries in their throat, they're basically bleeding to death and just suffocating in their own blood and drowning. And if they're not dead before they're put into a boiling hot tub of water, they're experiencing that as well, which is just a terrible way to die, I think. The boiling water just loosens their feathers, so the feathers come out easier. So, yeah.